All right, we are live. Welcome. Ooh, did I freeze? Welcome to another Wednesday evening live stream. Hopefully, this is going to play nice tonight. um, okay, so let's start by taking a look at chat and then we'll get into some stuff about mini PCs and Raspberry Pis and the pricing on some of this stuff, which I found interesting when I was compiling it. Um, hmm. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Well, I'm getting 19 megabit upload. So maybe we're going to be all right at the moment. Weird. Well, let me check one other thing here, just for grins. Yeah, I'm using zero swap on the Mac, so that's not the culprit, or shouldn't be. Any better now? Um, hmm. No, no. Well, what other options do we have? Hold that thought. Four. Let's see. Hold that thought. How's this? Is this any better? And if somebody can let me know if this is better, please, that would be helpful. And then we will start over. um, Let's see. It appears to look better on my end. So, okay. So let me go through chat, and then I'll tell you what I did, and maybe somebody will have a silver bullet solution to the craziness that I was experiencing. All right, so we have David Grishko, and thank you for being here. My Sea Prince, it'll start at 2:30 a.m. Might be asleep. Let's see. 100 minutes to go. Good evening. The red background was just me playing with Canva and trying to come up with something. Obviously, I'm no artist, right? I was trying to do some sort of a smoke effect, and I don't think it quite worked, but let's see. So, yeah, let's see. Everybody's talking about the freezing issues, which are worked around for the moment. Joe is here. Welcome. And see if that gets through. So this looks like the ATEM. Well, I'm no longer going through the ATEM. I bypassed the whole damn thing. So what I've got running right now is a Mirabox USB capture card. I just pulled the HDMI from the ATEM and plugged into this thing and changed the camera source in StreamYard, and magically delicious. It looks better now. So I will mess with the ATEM and see if maybe there's another firmware update that I may have missed or something after the stream. Let's see. Yes, it's fixed by Jeremy. Ironically, my registered business name is, in fact, It's Fixed. I thought it was a clever play on words. Didn't really win me a lot of business. So now it exists mainly as the YouTube channel. So, and we've got Alonzo Smith. Welcome, sir. At least it isn't WoW. Absolutely. It is much, much better than WoW. Yeah. So, yes, everybody, if you could hit the like button, that would be helpful. I'm trying to get better about asking. And I know everybody in the chat is subscribed, but if you're watching this after the fact and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If everybody watched midweek news today, I actually did a CTA in the middle of the video to try to get people to like and subscribe. Whether that works or not, we'll see, but that may become a permanent addition to the midweek news show going forward, especially since my subscribe rate seems to be low, let's say. Jacob Johnson is here. Welcome, sir. I know it's your business name. That's why I said it. Very good. We should get an easy button with your face on it. The like button. There's an idea. Let's look at all the pretty pixels now. See the CTA. I was proud of you. I want to do something. I want to record a CTA that I could just drop into the video and or maybe a couple of them, so I can switch from week to week and do a couple of those. But I am trying to put things in place to grow this channel. Especially after I paid for that channel analysis report and the accompanying videos that came with it. I'm trying to go down the suggestions that the guy made and put those into place in large part. Okay, so let me move over here and do this. Give me just a moment here. There's that. There's that. All right, so we, I suppose, given that we've been talking about internet issues for a few weeks now, maybe I should start by showing a speed test. So this one. Do that. I did this while I was having problems with the camera or the ATEM specifically causing the problems. So I'm paying for the 800 megabit down package. I'm getting $990. So I'm very satisfied with that. Latency looks a lot better than it did under WoW, and the upload speed has been hovering between 18 and 25. So, which is better. At least it is stable. So I'm very happy about that. So, wanted to talk about mini PCs and Raspberry Pi stuff tonight. I don't have stuff back in the office hooked up, so I thought I would start by covering some stuff that's available on Amazon. And if you saw the, well, right before the stream started, I updated the description of the video to have the affiliate links listed. I'm just going to run over a couple of the mini PCs I have and the one of the higher end mini PCs that I don't have, but I've been watching the pricing on it, and then we'll look at what the pricing is on a Raspberry Pi kit on Amazon currently. So this is what you see on screen is the Mini, the Beelink Mini 12 Pro. This is or Mini S12 Pro, I guess it is. This is using the cut down Intel N100 processor. And the N100 is all efficiency cores, so this is going to be very low power draw, right? As you can see, the specs on screen, 16 gigs of RAM. It comes with Windows 11 Pro, which I'm wiping that stuff off on any machine like this. 16 gigs DDR4 and a 500 gig NVMe drive. So, $175.20, and then there's a 5% coupon if you buy 2 select items, but $175.20. So not the worst pricing for something that is brand new and assembled. It makes a nice little Linux box. Most of these Beelink PCs have room for a 2.5-inch SATA drive as well. So if you wanted to boot off the SSD and use the SATA, a larger capacity SATA drive for storage, you've got some options. Moving to another machine, and I do have one of these as well. So the N100 machine that I've got is running Open Media Vault, and I'm using it for my DVD and Blu-ray ripping project to get everything on the network, so I can spin up a media center solution, whether it's going to be MB or one of the others. It's not going to be Plex, but one of the other more open source options. I haven't decided which one yet, but I'll at least have my media on the network, and all I have to do is point the media center at the storage and start streaming. So this guy over here, and I think I picked it up for a little bit lower than this price when I purchased it. This one is a play box. Given that these N series processors from Intel are such low power draw, I'm very curious to see how well the system will run various versions of Linux. And at 2.9 gigahertz, it's certainly faster than where I started with on Linux with a my first Linux box was a 486 DX4 120. That was a hand-me-down PC, so certainly faster than that. And then you can get up to a Ryzen 9, actually. This is a Ryzen 7. It's got a $130 coupon on it right now. This 8-core, 16 threads, up to 5.1 gigahertz, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe, Bluetooth 5.2, Wi-Fi 6, dual USB 4, 2.5 gig RJ45, HDMI DisplayPort, and a TDP of 65 watts. So, not too bad. I like the compact machines just because of what they can do. And so anyways, there's just a little bit of a look at some of the Beelink Mini PCs. Let's take a look at chat, and then we will take a look at the Raspberry Pi 5 kit available from the Amazon. Let's see. What is everybody talking about? Let's see. TVJ is in the house. Chat's moving on me. TVJ's here. And happy Valentine's Day, Jeremy. Can I Beelink your Valentine? Har, har, har. Joe's all jokes tonight. So, yeah. So the other the other option, I mean, a lot of people are still buying these, especially with some of the new capabilities of this new model. The Raspberry Pi 5 starter kit is about $170. So now the question remains, if you take the $170, obviously there's some assembly required on that machine, and you compare it to something like this, what's your better option? Well, that depends on your use case. As with so many things in computing, it depends is a real answer. If you're not given full context for a scenario, then you've got to collect more information before you can make a recommendation. I will say the Raspberry Pi 5, if you see on the bottom of the screen, does have PCIe capabilities. Now, you have to buy an add-on board for that. And it is going to be slower than, said $175 PC. So you've got to weigh what you really want to do. Now, if you want ultra low power, the Pi is the way to go. If you want the most flexibility possible as far as software availability, then you want to go the PC route because it's got more software for x64 than there is for ARM. This is slowly leveling out on the Linux side of things, but it's not there yet. So the other gotcha with the Raspberry Pi kits is that you might start off with this case here, which it's a nice looking case for the Pi 5. It's got the fan holes for the top and the whole 9 yards. But you start adding the PCIe breakout board, and you're going to have to change cases because it's not going to fit. So, it's one of those things. I've been buying Pis since the Pi 2. There are several projects that I've got that are Pi related that allow me to some extent to justify keeping them around. Now, I will say, if you're into retro computing, then there is this project called the Pi Storm. And so if you have a computer, this is more focused on Amiga currently, but my understanding is there is some work being done to bring it to the Atari ST line and to some of the 68K Macintosh machines, but you basically use the Raspberry Pi 3 with this board that slots into the 68,000 CPU socket, and you use it as a CPU replacement for these classic computers. So you can speed those machines up quite a lot. The caveat here is that currently you have to have the dip socket version of the 68,000 in any of those machines in order to make this work. So you know, it's not a solution for every model, but it is an interesting project, and an open source project at that. So you know, I'm very interested to see where this might go in the future. But you know, you've got things like this that are legit uses and justifications for the various Pi boards. So yeah, that's an interesting project. I do have my Amiga 500 still in storage. I think that's at the house I grew up in that my sister's currently living in. But yeah, there are some pretty interesting things that you can do with these 68K based computers thanks to products like the Raspberry Pi. Um, so, you know, it, like I said, it all depends on what your use case is and whatnot. So, um, um, back here a little while. Alonzo mentioned Mini Dell, Lenovo, HP from eBay. So I've been watching prices on those, and those have been fluctuating quite a bit. Um, and so I've got a couple mini, what are they? I think they're HPs downstairs. I think I got for $50 a piece. And they, I think, are sixth generation Intel. And so compared to something like this, you know, you may, for the sake of argument, let's take a look. Let's see, Optiplex, Micro, i7. Let's even do i5. And let's say 16 gigs of RAM. And let's put a max of $175 on it. So you're looking at 8th gen for 150. You know, there's an i7 for 105 or best offer. That's an auction, so it's probably going to go higher. What if we do buy it now? So some of these are a decent equivalent. I will say, you know, so especially if you get into like the 6th generation, they are not going to be near as efficient at the same price point as the N100 processor. And especially if you're dealing with a quad core chip, you're certainly not going to get the Some of these have, I guess it's the higher end one that has the 2.5 gig Ethernet. So you're not going to find that on the used market at a reasonable price. But sometimes you can find some gems. Now the other auction site I've sometimes had luck with is shopgoodwill.com. So right now it's not coming up with a lot. And most of these are older yet. And not necessarily, here's one of the small form factors. An Optiplex 7050, again, that's a 6th generation. Comes with Windows 10, which is, again, EOL next year in October, for currently $32. Now, you could realistically throw Linux on that and be quite happy, as long as you're not trying to game, because these older Intel chips with integrated graphics, their integrated graphics suck. We'll just say, I'll say it. So you know, in another year or two, when some of the newer stuff comes up on the used market, I think there's going to be some great stuff coming for home lab people. But the way I'm looking at things right now, I would not get anything older than like a 7040 series. And if you can find the 7040 with the 7th gen, that's even better. But you know, there are sometimes some gems to be had. Here's a 7050 i5, 500 gig NVMe, 8 gigs of RAM. It's Windows 10. And this has another 4 days to go. So, you know, it's kind of a flip of the coin. And you know, with used stuff, you're always dealing with no warranty and all that kind of stuff. And you don't know if it's been abused or cobbled together, or, you know, had some unqualified person working on it. So, yeah. All right, so let's jump ahead. I've missed a lot of comments, but a lot of them were people talking back and forth with each other, so I'm kind of selectively skipping around. Still have a Pi 3B new in box, couple of 4s, cannot justify buying Pi 5. That's fair. That's fair. I really need to bring my ST out of mothballs. I'm looking forward to that stream after you get to that retirement date. Another thing to highlight on my post-retirement to-do list. I shouldn't admit it, but I had a dream about that Atari ST not too long ago. Yeah, it's probably because I'm constantly talking about it. Let's see. Completed my first master's degree in computer science using that Atari with Pascal and C for my projects. Let's see. An amazing system. Lots of talking back and forth. Let's see. The Lenovo Tiny are nice. Yeah. Nothing's on Shop Goodwill. Let's do this. So yeah, $150 ballpark with 256 gig SSD and Windows 11, or excuse me, Windows 10, which is you start it up once to make sure it's operational and then you wipe it, or that's what I would do anyways. My only problem with Lenovo's is I don't follow their naming conventions. It doesn't make sense to me. You've got the M73, the M710Qs. You know, it's there doesn't seem to be any logic to it. Whereas the Dell line, you know, you've got your 3000, 5000, 7000, 9000 series, and the higher the last two digits, the more recent the machine is. And I'd have to find some sort of reference to tell me what these model numbers mean, because they don't mean anything to me currently. But you know, I'm assuming that these, you know, $79 machines, that's a 6500T, no RAM, no SSD, or 8 gigs RAM, no SSD. So right there, you're going to be adding a $20 part to it just to make it work. This one looks interesting. Again, though, it's $175, but it's got a Quadro P600, which I'm assuming is an add-on board of some variety. But still, it is better graphics. So yeah, I mean, if somebody can point me towards a reference for Lenovo part numbers, I would love to have it, just so I can keep an eye on these things for various projects. But yeah, I really don't want to be buying stuff that's older than like 7th gen Intel at the very oldest at this point. And even then, you know, an 8th gen would probably be the sweet spot to be for being recent and being cost effective. So all right, let's see. Do a dream sequence, then arrive back with the pink headset with cat ears. Uh-huh. Your granddaughter probably still laughs at that whole thing. Um, let's see. Did you see Lenovo's post on their website about not buying used laptops? No, I did not. Essential factors to consider. Well, somehow I don't think we in this chat are the demographic that this article is aimed at. Um, because I am walking around in my computer bag when I've got my computer backpack with me. I've got a Lenovo ThinkPad T460 that I bought for like $86 on eBay. Um, threw in a threw in an SSD and installed Linux on it, and it's been great for the most part. Few little hiccups, but um, great for the most part. Customers are attracted to the low initial cost of purchasing a used laptop. Often, however, savings are exaggerated. Uh, what are some of the dangers of buying a used laptop or computer? Many computer retailers selling refurbished laptops that were originally shipped with some sort of defect. Yeah, I think this is aimed at a general um, normie, shall I say, type demographic that doesn't know how to work on their own machines. Um, yeah, with the price of stuff that's new being so high, um, I'm not buying that much new stuff right now. And honestly, if I can buy one $200 used laptop every year or every other year, um, I come out better in the long run and using newer equipment. So then, buying one uh, $1,200 laptop and using that same laptop over 6 to 10 years. Um, that that I don't know. I always have thought that used equipment was a great way to get into home lab stuff. Almost all my home lab stuff is used, other than the network equipment that I think I've all bought that all new. But a lot of the computers I've picked up or traded or bartered and got for a little bit of nothing. I will be adding my Lenovo Tiny to my rack very soon. I use it to test Windows issues currently. Yep. Yeah, I think that was the one that I pulled up, which I've already closed. Laptop. Yep, that's the one. All right. Like that one security patch that would not install unless you expanded. Yes. I've got a couple machines at the library that have been hit with that, but I'm hoping that Microsoft just releases a patch for that patch and I don't have to reinstall anything on those machines because they're due to be replaced at the middle of the year. So, plus I'm running Phoronix Deep Freeze on them, so I'm not nearly as worried about any changes being made to the system at this point. I know Bob Carpenter is a big fan of Lenovo Minis. Yep. Yeah, working for Lenovo helps. I'll have to see if I can't find Bob's contact information somewhere, or maybe somebody has it and would be willing to share it privately with me. But yeah, I don't typically spend much time on the vendor websites, and I more just go at my own. I mean, I've been doing computers much of that time on my own over 30 plus years. Um, Shoot, the first computer that I was exposed to would have been 40 years ago this year. So, um, good old TRS 80 Model 3 um, at my elementary school. Um, Lenovo's post on their website is discouraging. Yeah, again, I don't think anybody in this group is the target demographic for that article. Just another option for others with only a business need. Absolutely. Use PC trumps any pie in my book. It depends on the use case. You don't get access to GPIO pins on a mini PC. And if you're doing things for like sensors, and even the camera, um, the camera connections right on the Pi boards, that offers flexibility that the mini PCs don't have without using webcams or some other USB device. So again, it depends on use case. That's um, yeah. Um, Trying to catch up on chat. Everybody's chatty tonight. Um, that article makes me angry though. Let's just e-waste everything so Lenovo can make more money. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Um, Human IT on eBay is reputable, and I've never had an issue. That article is garbage. Yeah. Um, Human IT. Well, I don't know. Um, Try it that way. So yeah. Guess we bring that back up. So they've got. Oh, I like their pricing on that better. I do have an extra NVMe drive around. The T490 is a little newer than the T460, so that's not a bad price as a 123.49 best offer. Slap a NVMe drive in there and go. Yeah, there we go. M710Q i5-7500T with a 256 gig SSD. And that is a buy it now. So okay, so that's got what, 1, 2, 3 display ports on the back of it. And it's got Wi-Fi. Interesting. That's not a bad price. The thing I've noticed about some of these is that some of them do not come with the power bricks needed to run them. Like this one, it does not mention the power brick. Not difficult to find. You can always use a universal because this is the same as their laptop connectors. But something to know before you purchase. <clears throat> 'Cause, 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 let's see. Anyway, the 580, that's an option. That gets you up into a 15-inch versus a 14-inch, or 15.6-inch to be exact. Don't know if I could go back to having a laptop with a numpad though. I've used them without it for so long now. I don't know if I could readjust. Let's see. Also, I think it may also be written because if you buy used, then they don't make money on any of it. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I have 4 old laptops I need to figure out what to do with. Still using a good Dell XPS, just needed a battery, cost-free, just heavy. MacBook 2019 still running. Yeah, unfortunately, my MacBook Pro is a 2014 model. It still runs, but the battery isn't worth much anymore, and it's served me well, but I'm using the $86, $85 ThinkPad more than I'm using the MacBook Pro these days. Just because it's so much slower. The MacBook is so much slower than the ThinkPad. I just hate seeing things go to a landfill for no reason, especially tech. Yes. It's something I think a lot about, and it's a reason I have 2 doggone many computers in my apartment. I really, really, really want to downsize some of the oldest stuff. PC stuff specifically, not the classic or vintage computers, however you want to call them. But yeah, I've got like some early 2000s AMD stuff that I want to get rid of. I mean, it's not serviceable anymore. You can go into Best Buy and get a PC that's probably twice as much as a used Dell that came from an office and is more powerful and reliable. Yep. You're not getting sick again, are you? No, just little allergy stuff happening. Since I was doing all the cleaning and stirred up a bunch of dust, it's taken a little bit of a toll on me, but it's more of just a head thing, more sinus allergy stuff. I'm approaching 49 years working with computers as a professional. I guess I'm not a spring chicken, huh? I think a mini PC might be better too. Pies were cool when they were cheap. Yeah, I mean, inflation's been a thing. Shortages have been a thing. Again, as far as I'm concerned, it depends on the use case. There are scenarios where a Pi is going to serve a purpose better than a PC if you want something low power, compact, and if you need GPIO pins or camera headers for doing specific things, you don't get that on a mini PC. The add-on Pi hats are cool, yes. My Microsoft Surface Studio workstation is a workhorse. Yeah, I don't know much about the Microsoft Surface line. The little bit of exposure I've had, they've been very locked down, not expandable, and I don't do anything. I don't go out of my way to support Microsoft if I can avoid it, which is why I focus so much on Linux on this channel. Um, Human IT is a nonprofit. I interviewed one of their employees on cajoling. Great story if you go to their website. Yeah, I think, aren't they based out of Detroit too? Or maybe it's just an office in Detroit. But I thought they were stupid pop-ups. I really thought they were based out of Detroit, but maybe it's just a location or a store in Detroit. Contact us. And of course, that just has a phone number. Oh, there's a Detroit warehouse and a retail store. Detroit and LA. And so how did you as an East Coast guy get hooked up with human IT? That'd be an interesting story. Um, just open another facility by you. Don't know how close to me. Detroit's an hour and a half away. Um, Can I just say setting up the new DKIM and DMARC email stuff is annoying? Uh-huh. I threw out about a dozen PC clones nearly 10 years ago. One had a 48650 megahertz CPU. Pi is much better for projects and testing. Hundreds of Pi projects with peripherals. Yeah, and the great thing about the Pis is you know what you're getting. Um, PC vendors and a lot of vendors in other industries as well are notorious for using the same product model number and changing the parts. It happens with network cards. It happens with mini PCs. With the Pi, you know what you're getting. My custom workstation with a super micro motherboard RTX 6000 runs my VMs. Nice. They started in LA. Okay. That's fair. Does not include all the spare parts I have on my shelves, well over 500. I know a guy from my development management days that had to expand his home to store his junk. Yep. I've known a few people like that. Bought a bunch of stuff from them on eBay, and the experience was awesome. Read their story, reached out, and met their crew. Was very impressed. They refurb laptops and donate to the underprivileged. They take all the eBay money and pump it back into the mission. Yeah, I've read a little bit about them. I'm very impressed, and I think I have. Oh, I guess I don't. I have them saved as a seller now. um, there. So they are a saved seller now. Yeah, this is more like it. Yeah. So, maybe maybe the next used ThinkPad I get will be from Human IT. Refreshing my home network with new switches and APs. Then I'm done with networking gear. We'll start looking at all my PCs and laptops. I'm not sure I've heard of this Ray switches. Huh. All right. I've never actually encountered this brand before. Interesting. I had a small issue and they took care of it immediately. They will go above and beyond. Just a great company. Okay, I'm done pontificating. Oh, come on, Joe. We know you don't stop pontificating. You seem a little tired tonight. No coffee? No, I didn't make coffee before the stream. Um, oh, Ray is SMB. Interesting. Well, this is what came up. Well, maybe that's it. Let's jump back over here, I guess. Oh, those are much more affordable looking. um, Gigabit switches. Do they have multi-gig switches? Unmanaged. Interesting. Those look pretty nice. Many of you may be surprised when I start my second channel after retirement, dedicated to my other hobby and side hustle, teaching. That side hustle makes me 10 times more than YouTube currently. I don't doubt that. Pew pew for us. You can take that name, right? Yes, I do know. I won't let the cat out of the bag. All right, so we've made it past the 1 hour mark. Let's go back to that view. I'm so used to switching views with the ATEM. Now that I don't have it, I'm having to use the mouse more on the StreamYard screen. So, what is next? So I still haven't figured out the weird issue with the SSH for those cloned VMs that I was doing in Proxmox. So I might have to reach out to somebody. I know there are a few people out there using Proxmox. That probably the most notable one that I think I've corresponded with once is Jay LaCroix, who happens to be another creator from here in Michigan, down Detroit area, I guess, or maybe he's closer to Flint or something. Anyways, Jay has been using Proxmox for quite a while, has done a bunch of videos on Proxmox, and I'm probably missing something simple. I swear I had this working before, but lately I have not had a lot of luck. So I'm trying to build a set of notes for myself so that I can, do videos explaining the issue and how to resolve the issue. but I've got to work through the issue first. So, um, let's see. Oh, David Grishko, I know the clone issue. You need to clear Etsy machine ID file before you make working into a template. So that's interesting because I'm not cloning a working VM. I'm building the give me just a second. Let me pull up my notes because I've got the source article that I used in that. So this is the source article I used, and so I'm not cloning a VM that I've booted into or ever logged into. I am using the cloud image, an Ubuntu cloud image, and walking through the steps in this article. I suppose it helps if I show the article on screen. It's the one I linked in the chat. So it's starting from using an Ubuntu cloud image, and you don't ever actually boot into that image. You just import their disk. Attach it to a newly created VM. But somewhere down here further, there's a when you're creating the VM template, the last step here, okay, I scrolled past it. But you've got to regenerate image here. And my understanding, and again, I'm still relatively new to this whole process, but my understanding is that regenerating the image is supposed to clear that machine ID, anything like that that's on the machine. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. That's why I'm going through the process of trying to learn it and figure it out. So, but I'm going to take down a note to do this, and maybe I approach the problem a different way and actually boot up the boot up a machine all the way and do this machine clearing the machine ID file. It just seems like a different approach, I guess. Do it live. Okay. So all right, let's see what we can do here. So I've got two pairs of glasses. I just happen to be wearing the clear frames now. Um, my other ones are blue and black. Blue on the inside, black on the outside. Okay. So when let's see, not that one, not that one. All right, let's use this. All right, so okay. On we'll boot up Clone 3. So this, according, going through that article, I built this, the template. So you can see I've got 3 different templates. This is from the 3rd attempt. Okay, so that one doesn't even boot. So we'll go to this one. The article says to set it up with a serial interface for output. So I should take this off screen so people can see what I'm typing. Okay. So that's on 160. So I get various variations on the permission denied on template 2. I don't know if I did copy. One of these I copied my public key into. One of them I didn't. My hope was that I'd be able to do it once and then I'd have passwordless login to the cloned VMs, but that hasn't worked so far. So anyways, the permission denied public key. So that's what I'm dealing with on one of them. I probably deleted the other clone. So I've got clone 2 and clone 3. So yeah, it's permission denied on that. So I'm probably missing something simple. Did you generate the cloud init with defined user that's not root? Yes, I did. SSH will not allow root login by default with newer Debian and Ubuntu. Yeah, so I did in fact generate it with, so this would be from template 2. Cloud init has my normal user as the cloud init user that it's adding. I mean, I suppose one thing I didn't try was that'll work any better. Same issue, same error message. Yeah. And it's been a minute since I've dug into the SSH documentation. Good night, David. Let's see. Let's do this live. I have a few minutes. Don't worry about the machine ID file. If you've never booted it before, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. That makes sense. I'm with family right now. Family, we are your family. I remember Tom Lawrence talking about SSH issues on new machines and doing some sort of script to reset it. Right. Yeah, it's yeah. Does it have a public key specified? So yeah. Let's see. Can we do this? Let's do it the other way. All right, let's do this. So 972. So that had my ED 25519 ID and load key bad permissions. It is required that your private key files are not accessible by others. Permissions 0644 for ID. Oh, bugger. It's been a hot minute since I've done numbered permissions. Let me take a look at this. Let's see. So try moving the public key on the template and see if you can log in with just the password. Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully that'll do it. Permission denied, public key. What? I have to change. Oh, that could be it. Because okay, I think I know what the problem is. All right, why don't we try that? Okay, it's running. Okay. So at least this is a different error. Da, 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 da. Ah. Oh. Well, that was looking better. Permission denied, public key. Okay, so I think I know where I went wrong. Because I think this was the one that I had copied my public key over to this machine when I was building the template. So that's probably where I derailed the whole thing. Well, the same one every time for home lab stuff while I'm testing. None of this stuff gets used for any sort of production. Yeah. Removing. Is your SSH agent running on the Mac? No, just the client. Let's see. Cloudinit only works from Zen Orchestra clones templates. Okay, so this I think is aimed at J because I'm using Proxmox. You take comment of screen. Take comment of screen when Linuxing, hard to see. Oh, off screen, I'm assuming is what you mean. Yeah. For me, I use my YubiKey as my SSH key through Open PGP. Works well. And private key never leaves my YubiKey. That's on the roadmap. So I'm somewhere along the line I misplaced my YubiKey keys. So, well, that's not good. Oh, bugger. Come on. Hold that thought. I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, I'm back. For some reason, it popped back over to the ATEM. So I misplaced my YubiKeys, which I hadn't put through any big use when I had them set up. So I've got a couple of the Utrust 502 NFC keys, and then I somewhere along the line purchased and had never used the Trust Key T110. So I've got a pair of these as well. And I'm sure my YubiKeys are floating around here somewhere. I just haven't put my fingers back on them yet. And at $50 a piece, I haven't purchased new ones. So I was thinking about maybe having a live lab stream series and go over all these cool things. That I think even for me would be helpful. It would be your luck, Jeremy, to finally get stable internet and have your camera break. Yeah, well, with the ATEM giving me issues, who knows? I'm hoping that it just needs a reboot or a firmware update. But yeah, I need to watch a good video about public key encryption. Yeah, I need to just have a solid approach to managing SSH keys. Because I know best practices would dictate a different key for every server, or using a hardware-based key or something along that line. I am going to go over to reboot should fix the ATEM. Yeah. Do it live. I learned my lesson. So, anyways, yeah, I think I have an idea now a little better what's going on with this template stuff. But I'm one of those types of people that learns best through the school of hard knocks, I guess, or experience. And so it's just gonna take me playing and experimenting with this and documenting my findings just to uh, get to where I want to be with this process. But yeah, so the whole reason for going through this is not just to put more content out, but it's to help streamline the creation of VMs. And eventually, once I've got the template process down, then I want to be able to do things like scripting it, whether through Ansible or Open Tofu or what have you, just to make the process go a little quicker. So that's kind of my end goal that I'm working towards. Um, Blackmagic products need constant reboots. They don't last more than a couple of days, in my experience. See, now I've gone months without rebooting my ATEM, and it's been rock solid. I think in the last 2 weeks I've rebooted it multiple times, but um, yeah, prior to that, it's been quite a long stretch without rebooting. Since my SSH keys live on my YubiKey, it's the same everywhere. I can push and change that at a moment's notice with Ansible. Nice. I recently started doing individual SSL self-signed certs for all my services. That's something I need to go down the rabbit hole of myself. So if you do a live stream specifically on that, I will definitely be there. That's one of those elusive topics that I've done a handful of times, but I don't do it consistently enough to have a really great grasp on it. 12 people watching on a Wednesday night and Valentine's Day of all days. Must be a lot of single guys or understanding significant others. Or they've all crashed because they had a good dinner or something. I don't know. Um, I think I already did one. Oh yeah, the XCA. Yeah, I think I watched that one. XCA. Yes, I have watched that at least once. um, this one. Uh, yeah. The I know one thing that I had tried in the past and I had varying levels of success with was um, I'm not sure. Did I do it in Zenshal or did I do it? I don't know. It could have been a script that I found online too, but um, yeah, it's been one of those things that I haven't done enough of, and really should get deeper into it. We went to Costco for Valentine's Day. Marriage. LOL. I suppose you're getting smacked on the back of the head right about now. And Ashley would be absolutely justified. Took me a little bit to wrap my head around it, but it is cool. Yeah. Um, Haley and I spent almost 2 hours working on getting her email up to date on compliance. Wow. Yeah, I probably need to look into that myself, and uh, I think at the library I'm where I need to be, because it seems like 6 months ago, or like late last year, there were emails from Google and whatnot that um, sent me down a rabbit hole to get that where it needed to be. But um, we'll see. No, we really went to Costco. I forgot her domain is on GoDaddy, but her email is Outlook. Gotcha. Yeah. I always referred to that as outhouse, but I was never a fan of it. When I had to uh, use outhouse at big insurance company that I formerly worked at, I used the outhouse web client because I liked it better than their desktop client. uh, now she's asleep due to your smooth tones. I use Cloudflare email relay for all my emails, catch all unlimited aliases for a domain, forward to my actual email. Nice. It's free too. Woohoo! I hate the web client. Hate it, hate it. Yeah, I I've been burned by desktop clients. I've used mainly Gmail, and um, more recently I've been using Proton Mail for some things. I still haven't moved a lot of things over to that yet. But for a desktop client, I'm using Thunderbird. And for me, that does everything I want it to do. I hate Outlook with a passion. But my middle ground when I was working for the large insurance company was to use the web client for Outlook, because it was less clunky for me. So, yeah, I would love to have everything in Thunderbird. Of course, that creates some additional issues since I'm bouncing around on so doggone many computers anymore. So, I don't know. It's one of those things, I suppose. Okay. I need a pocket-sized Grishko. Uh-huh. I close the browser way too often to have webmail work for me. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got my phone has my Gmail on it and my Proton Mail on it, and Um, I only go into the browser mail when I'm sitting at my computer. So, and occasionally on my laptop. So many efficiencies I could have. I need to consolidate all our domains and emails into one platform. I have domains at 3 different places and 2 different email providers. Yeah. Um, I still have a Yahoo address that I created in 2001 that I've kept around as a catch-all since they've been hacked so many times. Dulcet tones of Jeremy like. I want to walk through of David's setup because his setup sounds amazing. Yeah, that would be great. All right, we're at an hour and 42 minutes. We still have 8 people watching. Yeah. This XCA software definitely looks interesting. I need to go back and revisit it. My reluctance with it is just that I don't want to be dependent on a GUI app running on a single machine. So what I am interested to find out is what certificate authority is going to be built into Zenshell 8.0, which is due out at the end of the month. If anybody's been following that development cycle, I haven't mentioned it too much in midweek news because it's the last year has been a little rough for them with some people leaving their organization, and apparently they're moving the headquarters from Europe to the US, and so they snuck out the 7.1 release but never really updated their website to show that 7.1 was even a thing. And now they're claiming to be launching 8.0 by the end of this month. My understanding is it's still built on Ubuntu 22.04, which I would have been happy if they would have waited until June and just based it on 24.04. But I don't know. They seem to be one of those organizations that makes excuses, in that when I've tried to interact with them on their Facebook group, their responses are cryptic at best most times, or it's something canned like it's coming and no details. But when you release a point version of a piece of software and you don't link to it prominently on your website, and you don't update your download links to show it, and people have to hunt for it, something is not right in your organization. Whether it's just your priorities or your web dev person or what it is, something's not right. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what the new release is going to be. I will do a video on it. But I'd like to see a little more um, of them sticking to promoting their existing products before they bring out new products or new versions of products. Hopefully, they are gearing up to make some sort of bigger push. That is my hope, but I don't have any control over the matter. Um, yeah, it's interesting. You know, um, my original idea behind doing YouTube stuff was to raise awareness and promote open source software and things around Linux. But it's it's uh, it's interesting that once you put out a video, um, you seem to become de facto tech support for people. And um, my rule of thumb is that I will spend between 5 and 10 minutes answering a question. But there have been several extra demanding people that I have finally said, I am not associated with said developer of software X. Here's a link to their forum, and kind of send them on their way. Because if I'm going to do tech support, you're going to pay me. I didn't come this far in life to be doing pro bono tech support. Now the videos, that's one thing. If there's a simple question or people point out something that I missed, I'll either address it in a follow-up video or try to address it in the description or the comments. But to do one-on-one tech support for people, it's not going to be free. I'll give a few minutes of my time, but my time's valuable. So, let's see. David is the Willy Wonka of computing. If you could send some of that fizzy lifting juice for tech knowledge over here, I'd appreciate it. My wife is cracking up at the Willy Wonka thing. Anything you want to do it. Want to run VMs? There's nothing to it. Har har har. Always the Joker, Joe. So we need to start calling you the let's see, what is it? Josephus, the Joe Kerr. Har har. I can play that game too. Look at that. Josephus the Joker. Har har. See, Joe's not the only one that can make it funny. Whoops. Okay, that's better. All right. So what else? I just needed to get a drink real quick. My throat was getting dry. um All right, so we've got just under 9 minutes to go to hit 2 hours, and then we will wrap this up for the night and regroup for Friday, I guess. um, so yeah, I guess I could talk a little bit about what my day was like today. So I at the library we've got this Canon business class copier, scanner, fax, printer job, one of their image runner series. And for public printing for the patrons, we've got layered on top of that, we've got a package called Uniflow, which is it's a partner of Canon's, I guess, and basically it allows you to do um, not only local printing that is controlled, excuse me, but also you can do email to print, again with a release component in there that the staff has access to. But the installation process for this has been a thorn in my side, right? So I got our vendor that handles the printer. Um, I got an appointment set up, and I was able to have them remote into the three machines that I was deploying for the public, um, and we were able to get the printer driver and the control software installed and tested so that I could um, check these three machines off my list to deploy and go to the two remaining computers that I've got to swap out. So, in less than 30 minutes time, we had the three computers done, and I had made some additional notes um, to make sure that I can do this process on my own going forward, hopefully, knock on wood. But it was quite a bit more streamlined than when we were initially setting it up, and that was working with a different technician. But um, maybe it was something I missed in my notes. Maybe I don't know. Anyways, um, I think I'm in the home stretch of getting these computers deployed, and that'll be nice because I got another batch of computers that'll be purchased middle of the year, so mid to late July, and then I get to repeat the process, and that'll be the acid test for my notes, is whether I can get those um, deployed without any intervention from the vendor, which is my hope. I like to be self sufficient as much as possible when it comes to these things. So, that's what's going on there. Um, but yeah, I'm going to, at this point, I will probably do a little bit of editing on that video that I've got for release on Friday morning, um, to say that there will be a part two when I nail down the rest of that process for the templates and the clone VMs. But I think I've got a better idea now of what I might need to do. So I guess it was good to go through um, that live and Yeah, so hopefully I can get the rest of that figured out now that I've got a couple of ideas of where I need to go with it. Um, oh, you're streaming Friday? Yes, that's kind of become my schedule. Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Um, I just don't have the video for that scheduled yet. Uniflow sounds like a drug for enlarged prostate. Only you, Joe. Josephus the Joker. Um, um, so in the description of this video, I mentioned that we might be talking about something to do with gaming. Well, that piece of hardware is stuck at the post office until tomorrow. So that didn't happen. um, but yeah, that was one thing I did score on the Shop Goodwill uh, website, auction site. Um, when these mini consoles came out, they quickly shot up in price. So I was able to score a Super Famicom, which is the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo, mini console for it was $33 shipped. So that is available for me to pick up in the morning when the post office is open. So I'll do that on my way to work, and then maybe if I'm feeling really nice, maybe I'll get it out at work and play with it a little bit. But if nothing else, we might hook that up on Friday and take an initial look at it. So, but the nice thing is that this came with the box. So, from a collector's standpoint, depending on what kind of condition the box is in when they ship it to me, from a collector's standpoint, even if I don't play it much, for the price I got it for, knowing the prices I've seen it at, I'm okay with $33. So, sounds fun for Friday. Yeah, that's kind of my thought. Ezra, you came in right as we're wrapping up. Um, so just to recap, I scored a maybe I can bring it up here. I scored a Super Famicom Mini on shopgoodwill.com. Get signed into this, and we'll take a quick peek at this, and then we'll wrap up for the night. So this is the guy right here. So Super Famicom Mini with 2 controllers and the power supply. Just HDMI and power on the back, but Now, they only give you the back of the box, apparently. Oh, maybe that's a knockoff. Huh. Oh, well. Um, I'll have to wait until I have it in my hands. We'll see. That I didn't notice when I was purchasing it that this one doesn't have the Nintendo logo on the controllers. So I may have got a knockoff unit. Oh well. Such is life. We'll still take a stab at it on Friday since I'll have it in my hands and yeah. Um, so let's comments and then wrap it up for the night. I was fixated on painting the armor portion of Lion L. Johnson. Base layer application took a couple hours. I think your audio is low, as every time an ad plays, it blows me out of the water. Is this better? I think it's been a while since I've adjusted the volume on the Behringer, but maybe that's better. I don't know. Well, I'll have to play with this some more. I've seen 3 ads since I started watching. I guess in 2 hours, that's not awful. Nice. That's better. So, and it could be just because my ears are a little plugged right now. It could be just that I'm not hearing that. But oh well. As long as this is better, then I'll leave the setting here and see if I need to adjust it in the future or not. Jay, still not set up for YouTube Premium. Thinking about it. Better, but I have Premium, so it woke up the whole neighborhood. I'm trying to get my wife to switch to YouTube TV, and then we can do both. Nice. All right, everybody. I know there's still 6 of you hanging around, but no, David adds, I only watch and listen to YouTube all day. I think we need to wrap things up for the night. I need to get a little bit of sleep tonight and get ready to do this whole thing over again tomorrow. Hopefully I can finish deploying these computers and work out any weird issues that may arise from rolling out the 3 new ones. I've started on one of the remaining 2 that I need to get prepped. And a lot of it is because we only have a small number of licenses for our antivirus. I need to remove the antivirus from the machines that I'm decommissioning. I need to remove the user control software, the library specific software, and remove it seems like there was 3 things I needed to remove. Anyways, I need to remove that stuff first. Then I can put the new computer in place and reinstall that stuff. Oh, deep freeze. Then reinstall that stuff on the new replacement machine and get the printer stuff going, and then it's home free. So Anyway, that's kind of the scoop and the game plan for tomorrow. So hopefully, knock on wood, everything will fall into place. And worst case scenario, if this is in fact a knockoff mini console, then I might just donate it to the library for internal use or loan it anyways. And if nothing else, it might be something fun for the staff to do on a team building day or something. But all right, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great night. And I should have a recorded video out Friday morning. And then the plan right now is to stream again Friday night. I will see you then.